Let's talk about something the capitalists, the authoritarians, and the reactionaries don't want you to understand. They want you to believe that the moment the state withers away, society falls apart, that there's chaos, that without a government controlling us, humanity will descend into lawlessness. And you know what? They know that's not true. They need you to fear that idea because in reality, when the state withers away, it's not the end of governance. It's the end of oppression, of hierarchy, of exploitation. Let me say it again. The state will wither away, but governance will remain, and it will be more democratic, more efficient, and more humane than ever before. So what does this mean? What's the difference between the state and governance? And why is this the key to real, meaningful freedom? The state, as we know it today, is a tool of coercion. It's a machine built to maintain power and order for the few, using the threat of force to keep everyone in line. The state exists because the system we live under, capitalism, feudalism, even earlier hierarchical systems, needs control. It's not just about laws or regulation. It's about enforcing a system where the rich and powerful can keep extracting value from the working class. Think about it. You got corporations, landlords, billionaires, and CEOs who don't produce shit, but they've got all the power. They control access to resources. They control your labor. They control your future. And the state, whether it's a democracy or a dictatorship, is there to protect them. The state keeps the working class from revolting, from reclaiming what's rightfully ours. It does this by enforcing artificial scarcity, by maintaining inequality, by privatizing everything. The state isn't there for your protection. It's there for their protection. It's a weapon used to maintain the capitalist system, an apparatus that ensures the status quo stays intact. But here's the thing. The state and governance aren't the same thing. Governance is about coordination. It's about organization. It's how people make collective decisions, how they come together to ensure the society runs smoothly. In a society where scarcity is removed, governance isn't about enforcing laws to keep people in check. It's about helping people coordinate their efforts to create a world of abundance, where everyone's needs are met and no one is left behind. Governance isn't about ruling over people. It's about facilitating the needs of people. Under Enlightenment socialism, governance becomes about enabling freedom, not control. Instead of rulers, you have coordinators, people whose job it is to make sure things are running smoothly, to manage resources without greed, to ensure that everyone has what they need. We don't need a president, a Congress, or a bureaucracy to make decisions for us. We need systems that enable direct participation, where decisions are made by the people, directly affected by those decisions. Governance becomes decentralized, not because people can't work together, but because centralization itself is inefficient, corrupt, and undemocratic. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. You've probably heard the term the withering of the state before. Some people think that means a total collapse, like some dystopian anarchy. But that's not it at all. When we say the state will wither away, we mean that the coercive apparatus of the state, the police, the military, the courts, the politicians who make their money from keeping the system as it is, will no longer be necessary. When scarcity disappears, when resources are no longer hoarded by the wealthy few, when technology is used to liberate rather than exploit, the need for the state disappears. The role of governance shifts from controlling the people to coordinating for the people. The state doesn't need to keep us in check because we're already free. We're already in control of our own destinies. The state withers away not through violent revolution or authoritarian decree, but through the emergence of a new system that doesn't need the state. As we move toward full automation, decentralization, and abundance, the need for the state's coercive functions diminishes. And what we're left with is a society of equals, where decisions are made by the people, not the bureaucrats. And this isn't some theoretical utopia, something we'll never reach. We already have the tools for this future. The automation, decentralized networks, these are the building blocks of a new form of governance, one that operates without the need for rulers. Instead of a huge central government, we will have local councils where people directly decide how resources are allocated, what projects are prioritized, and how to solve problems. These aren't political parties or corrupt officials. They're democratic, transparent processes driven by people's needs, not profit. On a global scale, governance still exists, but it's a coordinating force, not a coercive force. We'll still need cooperation across countries and continents to address things like climate change, resource management, and scientific progress. But this global governance won't be top-down. It'll be open source, transparent, and accountable to the people. Here's the thing. The state is not the only way to govern. And the real reason people fear a stateless society is because they've been conditioned to believe that without a state, there would be no order. But true order comes when we finally get rid of the systems of control, the monopolies of force, and the hierarchies that keep us from realizing our full potential. Governance is needed for coordination, but when it's done right, it supports freedom, it supports equality, and it supports abundance. This is the world we're building, a world where the state no longer exists to control us, but where governance exists to help us govern ourselves. A world where we're finally free to live and create without the boot of authority on our necks. And when the state withers away, that's when we will know we're truly free.